Welcome to episode 11 of Drew's Baseball Crew. Here on this Monday night, myself, Drew Skyberg, is bringing you the way to build your winning lineup here on Phantasia Sports. Look, you got to join me on Phantasia. Link will be in the description. As you can see here on the bottom, gotta love using that here on the podcast. But yeah, I mean, going through it, this is going to be an exciting slate, and it'd be great if you joined me. And then also, my fantasy football league on Phantasia Sports. Please join it. It is a standard format league, non PPR. Want to spice up a little. I've really only have done PPR leagues, so wanted to just throw a change up in there. And yeah, I mean, with that, let's get into the lineup today. How are you going to build that winning lineup? Well, I'm here to tell you how, and let's go through the starting pitcher report. It's for Tuesday, August 9th, right? That's going to be the date we're looking at the contest, and let's go through it here. So I like to go right into the starters, as you know. And Alek Manoah is one of the guys I'm looking at right away. His career versus the Baltimore Orioles roster. He has an XBA of 147. That's an expected batting average with an expected weighted on base average, or xWOBA, of 265. Those are elite numbers, and I'd be looking to go with Alek Manoah here in DFS, right? You get two pitchers in Phantasia, so he's one guy I'd be taking, and plus he's at Oriole Park. As we know, that is now a pitcher park with that left field, so even better matchup there for Manoah. Mancini gone, of course, as well, helps him out. We talked about that in the deadline episode yesterday. Michael Waterloo from The Athletic and myself, Drew Skyberg, just put together a great episode. Go check it out also on YouTube or any of the listening platforms. But let's go through some more matchups here. Braxton Garrett. This is an intriguing one against the Philadelphia Phillies. He's looked good, but again, it's been like against teams like the Reds, the Pirates. So it's a little toss up. Do we want to go with Braxton Garrett or do we not? Is the question. The answer for me is no. Unfortunately, I don't want to take the risk there. Another guy, Zach Wheeler. If you want to just go stars here for pitchers, why not? Against the Miami Marlins, one of the worst offenses in baseball. Totally do it. I'm all for it. Other guys, Shane Bieber against another bad offense in the Detroit Tigers. Can't go wrong with that. That's the numbers, XBA of 202 and an xWOBA of 246. So great numbers there as well. Carlos Carrasco against the Reds. He's got good numbers. X slug of 389, xWOBA 310, but still the average against him 197. Carrasco might be a guy lower budget depending where you're playing. Could be a good stream there. Charlie Morton against the Red Sox. I would be looking. It's at Fenway, but probably one, if you're not liking any of the guys I mentioned before, I'd go there. Otherwise, Stroman against the Nationals. Nationals have looked horrendous since those trades have been performed. I'd be fine with that. Marcus Stroman, he's looked good. You're not going to get strikeouts, at least not many, I don't think. So just pay attention to the scoring. If it's strikeout heavy, which we know some fantasy sports platforms are, I'd be going with some of the guys I mentioned prior. But just got to keep in mind, Martin Perez is against the Houston Nationals with Jose Urquidy, and he's been a quality start guy, Urquidy. So if you need someone to go the distance or go longer into games, Urquidy might be your guy against the Rangers. But both these guys not really, favoring. Maybe if you see something favorable salary-wise, I'd be for it. Here's one. Freddie Peralta of the Milwaukee Brewers against the Tampa Bay Rays. This is going to be interesting. We don't know how deep Peralta will go. This will be his second start back from injury, so might be a guy to shy away from. And yes, it's a Coors Field slate, so we'll get into that lineup-wise. But yeah, Miles Michaelis becomes not really a guy I want to play on Tuesday. Others, Ohtani against the Athletics at Oakland Coliseum. I like that matchup a lot. Alex Cobb. I know the Padres are the Padres, but Alex Cobb's look good this year. I know he's been very unlucky, to keep in mind. Julio Urias against the Twins might be one. And Garrett Cole against Luis Castillo. That's going to be a good matchup there in Seattle. So that's going to be a pitcher's game, hopefully. We'll see. Garrett Cole revenge game, considering how he performed last time around against them. But that wraps up your starting pitcher report here. And let's go into some of the matchups, right? Going to catcher. I was going through this a little before recording, and I'll be honest, there was not a lot of catcher matchups I liked. Maybe if you want to just take the Coors Field option and go with Elias Diaz, I'd be fine with that. But Alejandro Kirk against Kyle Bradish was probably my favorite, just going through it. Again, I know I mentioned that left field's not fun, but that might be one. Keibert Ruiz, if you want more total points, I just feel with his discipline against Stroman, could be something there, could be not. And I was close to saying Yasmani Grandal, but he didn't make the cut for me, unfortunately. But catcher, there's just not much exciting stuff there. So going to first base now. All right, the first one I was looking at was, Joey Votto's been struggling, but gets Carlos Carrasco. He's had fairly good numbers for his career. OPS over 1,100 it is for Votto, and he also has a home run against him in those plate appearances. Other guys, Rowdy Tellez has been, he's been a streaky guy, but, when he's on, and it feels like he's kind of still in that spot right now. I like him depending on the price. Another one here to go at is Rhys Hoskins. He's been hot as late. Braxton Garrett is the matchup. Love that. Love Hoskins. I'm for it. If that's a ride the hot hand matchup, it certainly seems like one. Luke Voigt, newly acquired for the Nationals, is another one. Again, I know I said Stroman, but if you want to go with those guys, Ruiz or Voigt, go ahead. Eric Hosmer, another new one there with this team against Charlie Morton, is batting a career 400 off of Morton. Good matchup there. And Yuli Gurriel, who, is an empty batting average guy. He's 8 hits off of Martin Perez, all singles. Shocker, but only 1 strikeout, 1 walk there for him. Other guys, I'll try to get some other ones. Paul Goldschmidt at Coors, why not? Other ones, Pete Alonso against Mike Minor. I just like that matchup overall. And otherwise, CJ Cron, right? I have to throw another Coors Field one in. And I'll give you Jose Miranda, too, against Julio Urias. Miranda's been very underrated so far. And, it took a while, or it still has taken some time for daily fantasy sports apps to even adjust their salary for him. So could get some good value there. Let's go to some more here. Second base we are at now. And if Orlando Arcia gets the start, look at him against Rich Hill. I like that matchup. Fenway, the numbers speak for themselves. He's batting 333 off him with 429 OBP, 333 slug. Others here, Marcus Semien against Jose Urquidy could be a good one. 7 for 19 for his career off of Urquidy. Few more. Andres Jimenez has not gotten out yet by Tyler Alexander is one. Listen to this. 3 for 3 with 2 home runs. Again, really small sample size, but I like that sample size. I'd be okay with that. Who knew? Adam Frazier of the Seattle Mariners, 400 for his career off of Garrett Cole. Could be a guy there to look at. Ketel Marte against Zach Thompson's also a nice matchup. I do like that. I'll give you some other ones here. If there is any other ones. Again, Brandon Lowe, if he is back against Freddie Peralta. Is Brandon Lowe back? He is, yes. So he's batting. It looks like he's projected to bat second in the lineup. Could be one to look at. Again, we know American Family Field. A favorable hitter-friendly park there in Milwaukee. But second base, not much exciting stuff either there. Third base, let's go to it. Going through it, Jose Ramirez stands out right away against Tyler Alexander. He's got a Hamer Candelario has been, he's been heating up a little bit as of late against Shane Bieber. Definitely doesn't have the numbers for it, but if you want to ride kind of a hot hand, but otherwise, if you don't want to ride a hot hand, I'd kind of stay away. But Ryan McMahon, Miles Michaelis, good matchup for McMahon and Coors against Michaelis. Also 4 for 10 for his career off of him. Smaller sample size. Others, Rafael Devers against Charlie Morton might be one to look at. Dansby Swanson against Rich Hill. Good matchup there. I do like that. So we don't know who's starting really for the Rays. If they go opener, we don't know what they're doing. But if Jeffrey Springs is the guy who is pitching, right? Imagine you get 4 or 5 innings out of him. I do like Luis Urias against him. I do. So that'd be a matchup I would consider. And then I gotta mention Aldecors, right? Nolan Arenado still would be one. If you're just like, I don't like any of these guys, maybe just go with the Coors option. Can't go wrong. Also, Josh Rojas against Zach Thompson for the Diamondbacks at third base. I do like that as well. I think that, that wraps up third base. And we got shortstop now, and let's go through them. There are some great ones here. JP Crawford against Garrett Cole for his career 4.49. So could be an option there. Brandon Crawford also against Joe Musgrove. 6 for 17, which he has an OPS over, or I think it's actually right at 1,300, it looks like. And Xander Bogaerts against Charlie Morton, 361 average for his career. That's out of 36 at bats for his career. 13 at 36 is what I'm seeing. Others, Jorge Mateo against Alek Manoah. Small sample size, but has done well. We got Bo Bichette here against Kyle Bradish. Also could be a nice matchup. I like the Braves. I like a stack against Rich Hill and Fenway for these right-handed hitters. So Marcell Ozuna is a guy in like outfield. You want to go with him. Sorry, I'm jumping around a little, but let's go back here. Shortstop. Willie Adames is going to be probably the other one I'll throw in, and then I'll throw Carlos Correa with him. Otherwise, I don't like a lot of these matchups. Seager doesn't have great numbers for his career off of Urquidy. Rosario hasn't looked good against Alexander. And then Javi Baez does not look good against Bieber. So some of the bigger names, it's kind of like you shy away from. Looks like Luis Garcia of the Nationals against Marcus Stroman could be an appealing matchup. But from there, that's kind of all I got there for shortstop. Outfield, we'll roll it here. Before we sign off here for this lineup, I want to throw out right away Darren Ruff, with the Mets. He is against Mike Minor. And you know how he does against lefties. It's Darren Ruff. He has a 357 average. He's got a home run, and he's got 4 walks to 4 strikeouts and 19 plate appearances off of Mike Minor. Love the matchup for Darren Ruff. He's like, depending where you have him, you might be able to get him at first base or outfield, or like if there's a DH spot. It's all over the place, but that is one of my matchups. Like, I just circle in Darren Ruff against a left-handed pitcher. Just circle it. Then you have it down for the day. Or some of my favorite hitters always at Coors end up being there. Trey Mancini against Martin Perez is another good one. 6 for 16 is Mancini against him for his career. 2 walks to 1 strikeout as well. He has 0 home runs. I think that's going to change against Martin Perez. Other ones to go through, of course. I like to get those main ones out. But like, if you want to go Jesse Winker against Garrett Cole, if you're feeling brave, Winker 3 for 6 off of Cole for his career. 3 walks. He has not struck out yet against Cole. Ryan Mountcastle, if he's eligible against Manoah. I think I mentioned him already. But depends if he has outfield eligibility where you're playing. Lamonte Wade Jr. of the San Francisco Giants, also against Musgrove. Could be a good matchup there. And then I would like to say Mike Yastrzemski, but I unfortunately cannot. 3 for 15 out of 17 plate appearances. Not necessarily great numbers there for him. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. against Kyle Bradish. Another good one I do enjoy. Outfield, outfield's kind of limited today, I'll be honest, in matchups. Of course, I can go with the stars, right? Soto is 500 average off of Cobb. Could be a good matchup. From there, it gets tough. It's like the Coors guys, it's Charlie Blackmon. You throw in there. others. Yeah, I don't know if I can give any. Teoscar Hernandez would be one I'll throw in there. But from there, I mean, there's not too many I like in the outfield. Not really really an appealing slate for some of these players, as it usually is. But I'll throw Alec Thomas. That's the last sleeper one I'll give here for the Arizona Diamondbacks against Zach Thompson. So I named like 3 Diamondbacks, I believe, for hitters. So I think it's gonna be a good day if you want to do a 3-man stack with those guys being Thomas, and then you want. Or I didn't mention Varsho, but Thomas, Marte, throw those guys in with him, and yeah, I'm all for it. Josh Rojas was the other one as well, but I mean there's your lineup. I mean, I'm gonna kind of take my favorites out of those, and I'll be posting my lineup as always on the Instagram at Drew Sports Crew. It will also be on Drew's Sports Crew, the Facebook page, so you can check it out there. Then Twitter at Drew's Sports Crew, you can find it. I'll probably post it up there. Why not? And yeah, you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching right now here on Monday night, you're getting the edge. You are submitting your lineup before the Tuesday crew who's watching or listening in the morning, getting the lineup set as these start early. So I like to get it out at Monday night here for everyone, give everyone an opportunity. And yeah, thanks to Melon for making this possible, live streaming platform. Love it here for the sports crew. And yeah, before I go, we'll be back here Wednesday night. It'll be a journey to million. So not just Drew Skyberg here. I'll be joined by Jared Valesky and Zach Roush. We'll be previewing some dynasty stuff here on the podcast. Looking forward to it. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for myself, Drew Skyberg. So I'm signing off here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Drew's Baseball Crew, the perfect podcast for you. Thank you, everybody. Good night.